G'day guys, welcome to Rumble's Fishroom. So today I've realised when I just turned the camera on, I've got burnt. So it's hot, man. It is hot. Hopefully you can hear me alright. It's like 30 something degrees Celsius today and my aircon in my house broke. So I think this weekend I'm going shopping for an aircon. G'day Blake. G'day Mr. B. Good morning, you say. Definitely on the other side of the world, aren't you? So today there is many interruptions in our live stream. Outside, that way. It looks weird on the camera, I'm pointing that way, but then anyway, so that way I've got the smoker going. I've got a rack of lamb in there. So we might get a bit of an alarm. If that temperature there drops below 200 Fahrenheit, my phone's going to go off at me. Then, on top of that, I got a new phone. This is an old phone. Can you see the difference? The new phone isn't actually a new phone. The new phone is meant to be a replacement for the old one because I smashed this one. So as well as cooking, I'm on live chat to Telstra to figure out whether I can keep this phone and get a free better phone or whether I have to send it back and wait again. So that's frustrating as for anyone. Oh, you guys wouldn't have seen my phone, so I smashed it. So see this side here. There we go. I was unloading my motorbikes and I threw the strap and my phone was sitting on the drawbar of the trailer and the strap hit my phone and smashed it. And then if you look on this side, there's also a crack here. I was rolling up an extension lead and my phone was in my pocket. And as I was rolling it up, the plug on the end of the extension lead hit my phone and smashed the other side. Now it doesn't work properly. So anyway, Telstra likes to keep us connected, but they've given me the wrong phone. Props to them, but it only took them 48 hours to get me a new phone. So good on them for that part. They just sent me the wrong one. Oh, and also the product code on the box is different to the phone. So the reason I brought it up with Telstra is because if I keep the new one and it's the wrong phone, if I break that one, I won't be able to return it under insurance, if that makes sense. Anyway, this is a fish channel. Why am I talking about phones? Oh, g'day, I like plants. Who else is here? Jason, g'day. Hell yeah, brother. Did anybody catch Cletus's video today? Man, am I proud to be an Australian. If you saw the video, you'll know why. Shout outs to the Rod Shop. What good blokes. This is a fish channel. Yes, Blake. I thought you should be happy, Blake. Like, if you've taken a little bit of notice, I have been trying to keep it a little bit more fish related in the last couple of weeks than previously. $2,000 bill, that's out of control. That's what today's stream is about, bills. So, a little bit of a background why we're making this video. So, I sold fish last week. Basically, it's not the first time, but the guy came to pick up the fish. Well, he didn't pick it up, but we're making a little bit of a story because I don't want to tell you the whole story. Guy came to pick up the fish. I delivered it. But anyway, besides that, paid a very good price for the fish and basically said along the lines of, I must be almost a millionaire because of how expensive my fish are. And that was blunt and to the point, but I've had the same style comments, but not that harsh. G'day, Chev, how are you? So I wanted to make this live stream. I need that box that I just threw away. This cardboard would do. I really want to figure out how to like put the text on the screen and that, but I'm just not that advanced, and I ran out of time this afternoon to look up how to do it. So I'm going to be jotting numbers down on this cardboard and holding the cardboard up. Anyway, so my point is I'm not a millionaire, believe it or not. Take a minute to let that soak in. You might not believe me when I say that I'm not a millionaire. I do have some cool shit, and a lot of it is paid for by fish, kind of. The fish bought my motorbike. That was kind of an influx of Corona sales, I would say. My average sales isn't enough to buy a motorbike. Oh, and you've also got to remember, I bought a motorbike that was completely run down and rebuilt it because I couldn't afford to buy a good one. All right, so I actually had some bills, like the actual bills lined up to show you, but my wife, I can say that now, my wife actually threw them out after she paid them. But I've got one here, the water bill. Dun, 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 dun. $384. How many days is this for? I don't actually know. All right, October. Is that October? No, August 24th to October 22nd. August. How long's that? Is that 8 weeks? Is that, no. 2 months. I've got a question for you. Why I've cut the bill out my address and that, even though most of the people already know my address because they're buying fish. Why is Western Australia in 60-day allotments, but over East is in 90 days? There's a real question for you. All right, so $384. So I'm working this out to a month. So I'm just going to round it up to 400 because if you look, I'm in the second tier. Now, the next 142 kiloliters is $2.40, but then it goes up to $4.55, and I actually hit that third tier for like the last 2 months of the year. So my water bill goes from like 380, it jumps up to like 500 and something for that last 60-day period of the year. Chev's on 30-day billing. 30-day billing, I don't know how I feel about it. It'd be cool because it's smaller bills, but 30 days isn't a very long time. That's a lot of bills. Fish buy. No, Fish didn't buy me my smoker. My partner bought me my smoker for my birthday. I didn't pay for that. All right, so $200 a month for water. Sounds expensive, you might say. Yes. My automatic water change system chews the water. I'm not going to lie. My Fishroom is crazy electricity efficient. It is not water efficient. And that's by choice. I can turn it down, but at the rate that it runs now, I get little to no illness. Besides flower horns randomly die. But as far as Africans, since, and this tank here, this tank guzzles water as well. So my water bill is by choice. I could probably get that down to like 150, but probably not that low actually. Maybe like 180 a month as an average for the year. I really try and keep in that second tier for water, but it's impossible. I just can't do it. So next up is power. This is a bill that I had handy, but it got thrown in the bin because it was paid. So I don't really know where to sit on this one because I've got solar. I kind of want to do this costing without solar. And I roughly know how much that was because I never used to have solar. So my power bill used to be, I don't know what I'm going to say here. I'm going to say $400 a month because the bill that I just got, what is it? Electricity. The bill that I just got was $800. That's with solar. But that's the second highest bill. The highest bill was 60 days ago. Oh, sorry for long pauses, guys. I'm trying to think here. All right, so then some of my power bill drops with the solar to like $250, but without the solar like $500. So I'm just going to keep it $400 a month for electricity, minus as if I didn't have solar. What fish do you turn over the most in your fish room? I'm not sure. The flower horns turn over the most money, definitely. The flower horns pretty much pay for the room to run, and the Africans are my pets in a way. The Africans are like what I do for fun, but I couldn't just have Africans and run the room and break even, if that makes sense. Unless I got into buying and on-selling and like shipping from over east and like selling them here, there's a fair bit of money in that, but I don't agree with that. I don't agree with on-selling. Besides, unless it's like a registered shop, I think I frown upon people on-selling in backyard setups. G'day, Ugly Man's Reefing. G'day, Hooked on Fish. AZ, how are you? All right, so we're up to $600 a month. We've got water and electricity, and honestly, those are the main two. I'm not gonna take out any for the power for the koi pond because my koi pond literally it only uses like maybe $20 a month in electricity. It's running on 2 air pumps. Like it's efficient, that's for sure. I didn't really state what I had to what I'm powering. I was going to state that. So I've got the koi pond, which is 15,000 liters, running completely on air. Oh, there's one tiny little pump to run the elephants. I don't really need to look over there because you guys can't see it. Then we've got the fish room. Fish room is about 30 fish tanks, and it's a total of 15,000 liters also, but it's 15,000 liters heated, unlike the koi pond. So we've got 15,000 liters cold, 15,000 liters hot. The whole fish room runs on air. There is not one mechanical pump in the fish room, I think. Yeah, no, there isn't. We've got a 500 litre display tank behind me running on 2 canister filters, and also it's got a 400 watt light above it, so that is chewing the power. And then I've got the 2 IBCs and the 8-foot that are in the shed. I want to talk about them, but I want to talk about them a little bit later because I've got some interesting facts about those tubs/tanks. G'day, John. How are you? Oh, Moist. Nice name. Nice profile name there. So next thing is food. This can vary hugely. So I use Extreme. It is quite expensive. I don't necessarily pay full price for it. As you guys know, Korean Pet Central is a sponsor of my channel, and they are, I think, the main supplier of Australia for Extreme at the moment. Not many people are supplying it, if not one of the biggest suppliers of the food in Australia. So we've got 30 fish tanks, 3 grow out tanks, and koi fish. I'm not going to count the koi fish or the discus. I've actually done a full video on this a long time ago. I think from memory, it was around $100 a month. It might have been a little bit more than that, but that's using Extreme. So I'm going to say $100 a month because you can use cheaper foods. Nice. We've got nice round numbers here. So then, 6, 7. So that's total of $700 a month to run my room. Now, let's talk about the 2 IBCs and the 8-foot. The 2 IBCs and the 8-foot use more electricity than my entire fish room. So that 3,000 litres costs more to heat than the 15,000 litres in my fish room. How? The fish room runs on a reverse cycle air conditioner. A reverse cycle air conditioner is a lot more efficient than aquarium heaters. The IBCs and the 8-foot, they run on internal heaters, just like your standard glass heaters. Also, these 3 tanks aren't insulated. There's styrofoam behind the back of them, but the front and sides and tops are not insulated. And that's the killer. So those 3 IBCs, 2 IBCs and 8-foot, 3,500 litres, they add $150 a month to my power bill. But they are a tool for me breeding flower horns. If I shut them down, I've got nowhere to grow the flower horns out. So then I lose my sale of flower horns. So that's how I can justify having a setup like that outside of the fish room that's costing more to run than the fish room. It is justifiable because of how much I sell the flower horns for. And then I'm going to put this on there for shits and giggles. You guys might laugh. You might think it's silly putting it on there. So I'm guessing, it's a total guess here. I'm guessing that I spend, are you still there? Yep. I'm guessing that I spend roughly $500 a month on fish. So that brings our total to $1,200. $500 a month is including tanks and hardware, because I don't buy much tanks and hardware anymore. So now we're at $1,200 a month. So obviously I can rule out buying fish, and we need to sell $700 a month minimum to break even. Now, I don't expect to break even. It's a hobby. So breaking even in a hobby is a huge win. If I was a registered business, all that jazz, then obviously breaking even isn't even acceptable, you know. What chemicals do I use? I don't use any chemicals at all, ever. Nah. Well, if I get sick fish, I use medication, but I don't use. I add swimming pool salt to the koi pond when it rains. I age my water. I don't even use a dechlorinator. And I also have carbon filters on my tap water. I've got methylene blue powder, which $2 bottle has lasted me 2 years. I use that for my baby eggs. And what's the tablets? It starts with a T. I can't remember. Oh, I use wormer actually. But even like the wormer I use wouldn't even be $5 a month. So I don't think, we'll just say meds is included in the $500 on fish, I think. I'm a really firm believer in clean water before medication. I've had flower horns start to like look like they're not looking good, and I've tried meds on them, and I just find with medications it seems to be like 10% success rate, 90% not success. So unless it's like itch or something, obviously you're going to medicate that. But yeah, I think meds is not really a thing for me. Yeah, you'll get laughed out of a lot of places. I had wild-caught Moba frontosa breeding in my fish room with tap water. No, not trisulfur, tetracycline or something. So I don't know. I've used salts. I used to have Tropheus, and then when I swapped back to African cichlids, I was raising my KH and GH to like 10 ppm or 10 T. Is it 10 ppm? 10 little drips anyway in the testers, and it was costing me $4 a day in chemicals. And then I decided to cut it out, and this was while I had Moba frontosa in the fish room. The Moba kept breeding, and I didn't lose any fish at all. So I just don't use chemicals. All right, so we're at $1,200. We're getting sidetracked here. So then I'm going to say I sell 2 flower horns a month at we'll say $350, so that's $700. And then the Africans are slower. This is a tough one. I'm trying to think here. I'm going to say I sell 400 a month in Africans. And then I've got Patreon, which is $100 a month. And then I also get my YouTube commission, which is $50 a month. But I don't know, should I be adding them? Because I'm not including my solar, and I'm not including my food sponsorship. So I'm not even going to put them in actually. Let's rule them out. I'll leave them written there, but so at the moment I'm selling 11. Yeah. So we're up to $1,100 a month in fish sales. So basically running my fish room without sponsorships or without YouTube or anything, I would be losing $100 a month. Obviously I could curve my fish spending, and I could profit if I didn't buy any new fish. So running a fish room as the general public, minus $100 a month. So that's me. So I'm not a millionaire. So g'day Sapphire. Where do I sell most of my fish? I pretty much rely on word of mouth and people contacting me. Besides the flower horns, I advertise the flower horns. Basically, I find when I advertise, I get a crazy amount of tire kickers. If I just get people from word of mouth contacting me, they seem to be way better customers. I don't know what it is, but maybe the fact that people are actively looking for fish, they're more motivated than people that are just clicking on a link and sending you a message. But Gumtree is pretty much dead. I used to post flower horns on Gumtree and I would get like crazy low balls, but now I post them on there, I pay the $1, and I still don't get the low balls even. I get no messages on Gumtree. Cheap hobby, but yeah, so I'm cheap. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to work it out as me, as a YouTuber. So we rule out the $100 in the food, crossed out. I'm still paying water and electricity, so that drops that to 600. So then still 500 on fish. So our total is, without the food, is 1,100 a month. I've crossed out. You can see my definitely should have learned how to do this on the screen. I'm sorry, guys. Look how sunburned I am. That shoulder. Oops. So we're at 1,100. So we've still got 700 in flower horn sales, 400 in African sales. Even 400 is a bit of a stretch, really. $100 in Patreon and $50 in YouTube. So 11, fast math. So that's basically plus $150. So at the moment, we're at $150 a month. Obviously, I'm always working towards growing that, and I'm super appreciative of that. I don't want this video to come across as I'm not appreciative for what I get out of YouTube and that, because if you guys watch my daily vlogs, you'll know that the vlogs help me calm down when I'm in a bad mood and that sort of thing. So even when I was getting $0 from YouTube, I still enjoyed doing the videos. Maybe people knowing who I am 110% helps with my sales. I'm not going to deny that at all. I've seen people post flower horns the same quality as mine, or even ones that I've sold to someone and then they're on selling and they don't get the same amount of money that I get for them. And that purely boils down to people want the fish off me because of my reputation as a YouTuber, I guess. But when I first started YouTubing, I didn't really realize how big of an impact it would have on my fish sales. Chef, that's cool. If you're in WA, you'd buy off me. I can post, but it's ridiculously expensive at the moment. A box which was $90 to ship is now $190. That's more than 100% increase in price. I gotta check on the smoker, guys. Oh, what am I doing? I can bring you with me, but copy to clipboard. I don't really need to voice out aloud what I'm actually clicking, do I? See, if I was smart, I would have sent myself the link before now. World's slowest laptop. Do you think next week we should get the green screen out, guys? If you want to see me on the green screen with something cool behind me, let me know what you want to see. whether it's funny, embarrassing, cool. I can record a video and like loop it behind me. I don't know. I think the live tank is cool, but oh no, what did I click? Sorry, Zach, if you're watching, I just sent you the link because it was too hard to try and find myself. He's going to be like, why am I getting a StreamYard link? Funny times. Let's get back to the comments, see what you guys are talking about. I wish flights were going to Alice Springs. I could just like smuggle some in my jocks when the borders open. Oh, I need to open in the browser. It's been a while since I've streamed on my phone. I haven't actually, it's asking for access, so maybe I haven't even streamed on this phone. Yeah, I have. Alright, there we go. Oh, turn the sound down. Flip the camera. Tip that way. Done. I pressed the wrong button. There. Alright. Add the stream. Oh, how's the reduction in the video quality, guys? We'll make it small so it's not that. Oh yeah, another thing about getting a new phone. There we go, it's a bit clearer. This camera on my phone has got dirt behind the screen. What time is it? Are you getting double audio? Hang on. Turn that, mute that. Can you hear me? I'm guessing so. It's 6:02 p.m. Anyway, we're gonna look at the smoker. How much better does the fish tank look when I'm not sitting in front of it? So, talking about the planted tank, can you see down the bottom the Brazilians? This is thin dried out. I'm not really sure why. I left that for way too long, guys. What's the temperature? 203. We're alright. We're still hot. One good thing about my smoker is it's not a cheap one, so that the more expensive smokers, the metal's thicker. So if your fire dies off, they're more forgiving. Get some wood. Good times, good times. I don't really like opening this during a cook, but I will. I've got a rack of lamb. Sorry if you're vegan, and I hope you guys can hear the chat. The koi pond's not very happy at the moment. The glass is pretty clean. But can you guys see how low the water level is? This is a huge, this sucks because my skimmer doesn't work when the water level drops. The filter, the air lifts slow right down. Mind you, they look like they're going pretty fast at the moment. It's just a bad time. But the little timer, I had a timer on the pond that turned on for 10 minutes a day, putting fresh water in there. The timer got water in it and broke, so I've got to get a new timer because this has actually got automatic top up. Well, automatic top up. It's just 10 minutes a day. This whole time, I hope so. Yeah, you can hear me. That's good. That's good. And we're back. There you go. You can look at yourself. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, that doesn't work. You need to. All right, let's swap this back over. Remove. And we're back. Whoa. That's loud. I just need to say goodbye. All right, so what else do we talk about? What do you think? I hope everybody's happy with my costings. I think the big thing with people that are starting up a fish room is to prepare yourself for the power bill. That is so one thing that happens, and it happens every year. I've been in the hobby for like 9 years, and I've seen it happen 9 years in a row. Maybe not 9 years at the start. I wasn't like fully into the groups. I went to my first PCS meeting maybe like 7 years ago. Anyway, point being, every year there's people that set up a fish room from between December and March, and they come to like the auctions and that. Obviously this year's a bit different, we've got Corona, but they come to the auctions, they buy heaps of fish. Next thing, they're setting up like 20-30 tanks, and it gets to March and they've got this fish room with 30 tanks, and their power bill's coming in at like $300, and they're pretty stoked. They're selling a few fish for like $3 each and that. And like what happens is these fresh people, they end up like hugely undercutting people like me who still try to keep a decent dollar on the fish, and it brings down the price of the fish. Anyway, that's not really the point of the story. The point of the story is these people, they get their $300 power bill, and then January, February, March, the May area power bill comes in, and they go on from 300 to like 600, and then they're like, oh, that really hurts, but I can live with that $600 power bill. Keeping in mind this is somebody who's new to the hobby. It's their first year with the fish room. Maybe last year they had one tank and their power bill jumped up like $50. So then they've got 30 tanks in a shed or a carport, completely uninsulated, canister filters running, sponge filters, all that sort of jazz. No thought into their electricity. Then the June, July bill comes in. Now, I've seen people with a double carport with like 30 tanks and uninsulated with heaters in the tanks. I've seen power bills as high as $2,000. Me saying $800, that is almost like best case scenario. Like before I had the IBCs, it was 600, and that was really best case scenario. But these new people that start up and they're running like 20 canister filters, and then they've got 300 watt heater in like 30 tanks. Yeah, and like the power bill comes in at like $2,000. And if you've been in the hobby for a fair while, you'll notice that July, August, September, that area there's always racks for sale. And then you come into like January, February, March, it's really hard to buy racks because they get snapped up. And this is why. I'm not having a go at those people. Everybody needs to learn. Like you're not going to learn unless you either try or you watch a video like this of someone like me talking about it. I've done it. When I moved into the house I'm in now, I set up the spare bedroom. It had like 25 tanks in it. They were running on aquarium heaters. It wasn't 2,000. I think my highest bill was about 1,400. But the bedroom's only 3 meters by 4 meters, and like I had tanks squeezed in there. So I more than halved my power bill setting up my new fish room, and it's almost twice the size of my old one and half the power bill. So because I had been through that experience of super high power bills, my number one priority was insulation. I hope I'm not nerding out too much, guys. I really wanted to have a bit of a nerd out video, but I feel like it was a bit too much information to try and like squeeze into like a 15-minute vlog, and I hope you guys like that I did it on the live stream. Chef, 20 kilowatt solar system. Man, that would be awesome. We're not even allowed to put one that big on our houses. So I can go up, mine is 5.4 kilowatts, and I can go up to 6.6 kilowatts with how I am now with the rebate and the return. I can bump it up to 10 kilowatts, but I lose all the return. So like if I'm putting power back into the grid, I don't get any money for it. But I don't use much of my solar. It's a pain in the bum. Convince you not to do a fish room. Honestly, Joe blogs in his bedroom that has like one breeding pair and a couple of fry tanks underneath the breeding pair or the breeding colony. That would be making more money than me. So yeah, about the solar. So solar produces during the day, right? I've also got a solar hot water system, which the booster turns on at night. I've recently installed a timer, but a lot of the time I leave it on because if I turn it off, you can't have a shower in the morning. So my solar cranks during the day. We watch TV at night. We do all the like washing machine and stuff at night. Oh, my phone's going off. What have we done wrong? Smoker's too hot. How cool is that? My phone tells me when my smoker's the wrong temperature. So we've got like the fish room and the koi pond run 24/7, but in the middle of the day, in winter, I guess the heater's running in the fish room a bit, but in winter you're not producing much solar. So that's a bit of a downer. When I need the power, it's not making it. And then all the air, I'm only drawing like 300 or 400 watts in air in filtration. So we've got 5,500 watts in, oh no, actually I tell a lie, it doesn't make 100% efficiency. It peaks out at like 3,500 watts. I'm only using 300 of that in the middle of the day. And you only get 7 cents per kilowatt when it goes back into the grid. Chev, you don't get credit, but you don't get a bill. Have you got batteries? Yeah, so with the solar, I probably save $150 to $200 a month. I did work this all out, but it was a couple of years ago now. I worked out that it would take 3 years to pay the system off. I've had it for about 2 now, so I'm probably in the last year of it paying itself off as such. But it was a medium letdown. And then so like I can squeeze another 3 panels up there, but I did like all the math and everything, and it wasn't worth me paying for the panels, because if I put 3 more panels up, I wasn't actually going to use the electricity from those 3, and I would only be getting 7 cents a kilowatt. So if that makes sense to you, it makes sense. See, there you go. You got battery storage. Of course, it's covered itself. So you could live off grid, really. There's a guy here in Western Australia. He collected all the dead little batteries from like drills, you know, like Makita drills and that. And then he split them all the dead ones, and actually tested every cell and worked out which ones were still good. And then he built a bank with like thousands of these little batteries, and he took his house off the grid. So he built the battery for free just with recycled batteries, and he's off the grid. Like, more patience than anyone I would have ever known. But imagine sitting there and just sorting through thousands and thousands of batteries. See, oh, that's cool. You got a mate that's into it. So my boss's cousin does solar for a living, and he's the one that helped me. So it's probably changed a bit now, but 2 years ago, we looked at batteries, worked out my bill, and the batteries were going to take 9 years to pay themselves off, and the battery life expectancy is only 10 years. So there was absolutely no way I was going to spend that much money for that little return. Oh, I'm tired, guys. What's everyone think of summer? I don't like summer. I know some of you on the other side of the world will be coming into the snow season. I wish I was coming into the snow season. I think the grass is always greener, but like some of the YouTubers I watch are like really upset that it's coming into the snow season, and I'm sitting here on the other side of the world like, oh my god, I wish I was in the snow. My two favorite holidays I've had have been in the snow. So batteries cost $2,500. What? That's cheap. That sounds really cheap. When I was looking at batteries, they were like $8,000 or $9,000. Something doesn't add up here. Maybe have batteries dropped that much money since I looked at them? I guess 2 years is a really long time in technology terms. John, sorry, I've kind of missed your comment there. 2 Nautilus 1400s, 1100 FX6, FX4, tidal hob, 2 tidal 35s. $150 a quarter with solar. That's really good. All right, is that including heating? I'm going to guess you're running, let me guess. 3, 4, 5, 6. I reckon you're running 1,300 watts worth of heaters. That's my guess. And that's going by the sizes of the canister filters. You've got to let me know if I got close to that. Bit of a stab in the dark, but I'm confident. Oh, did Telstra get back to me, guys? You meant to be watching my phone for me. I don't even know how to get to it. I say there's need for assistance for your concern. Let me go ahead. For security account. They want my date of birth. I'm not going to tell you guys. I feel like date of birth is the worst security check because, like, I could look, John, like, I could look you up right now and, like, find your date of birth. And then I've got your date of birth. And then I can imitate you on the live chat for Telstra. Have you guys noticed like the last week I've been getting like a chesty throat in my videos? It's driving me insane. I go the whole week, I feel completely fine all day, and then like I get to record my videos and it's like almost like I'm getting a flu, but I never end up getting sick. I just struggle to record videos. I kind of think it might be hay fever related, but I don't know. Every year I get like flu-like symptoms, but I don't actually get the flu. But because I take hay fever medication, it stops like the sinus shit, but maybe I still get like the lethargic body shit. I think that might be a thing. Yeah, John said I'm about right. Is that meant to say my date of birth isn't recorded? Or it is? I'm confused. All right, so we've got the serious watchers in the house right now. I got a question for you. It's a very important one. I need you guys to decide. I'll leave this completely up to the chat. My camera went flat, guys. I'm not going to change the battery because we've only got 8 minutes to go. But I've got a question for you before we leave, and I'm just going to leave it to majority wins this one. So I'm at 1,300 subscriptions. I need a boost. It's gone a bit stalemate, so I'm going to do a giveaway. It's going to be an Amazon voucher. It's going to be my own money. I'm paying for it, but I need to. It's going to be worldwide. I need to decide whether I do. I'm thinking either a $50 raffle at 1,500 subs, or do I just go all in and do $100 first place and $50 second place at 2,000 subs? That's the dilemma that I'm sitting on right now. I'm getting the other battery. I need to get, there's like a little fake battery thing you can get for the camera, and I've been meaning to get it. Either that, or at least if I charge my camera before the live stream, it charges it enough to go live for the hour, if that makes sense. Because last week the camera didn't die, and I only had the normal battery in it. Let's see. How bad's the camera on the laptop? Is actually, oh, Alright, I think I'm back. Oh, I forgot about the smoker again. Should be alright. We put wood in there. Yeah, we're still at 230. That's right around where I want to be. How's this? It's got you guys can see my date of birth. So Telstra has said give me 10 to 15 minutes to pull up the account. How long does it take to pull up an account? Anyway, so let me scroll up the comments. Did anybody... Persicklids, now you decide to actually comment when I disappear, hey? Alright, so Chev's the only person that actually decided to have some input into this situation. So Chev wins the competition and the winner gets nothing. Nah, Chev's got his fair share of Patreon prizes. Don't joke about the house being on fire. We've been there before. It wasn't fun. I still get a bit of PTSD from it. It's not fun at all. I don't know how people deal with PTSD when something actually serious happens, because I only had a little fire and I get it. 20 chats at once. I had another question for you. It was another pressing one. I forgot. Man. All right. So I'll ask now because Chev's in the chat and Chev's on Patreon. I'm thinking about ditching Patreon and going to YouTube members because it'll be easier if it's all on one platform. The only thing is, I'm pretty sure if I cancel my Patreon and start members, I'm going to lose a few. So it'll probably start off slower. And also YouTube takes a bigger chunk than Patreon. But I think YouTube members will grow better than Patreon, because I actually hate Patreon as an app. It's annoying. I can't actually, so like when you guys pay and then I go to withdraw funds, I can't even withdraw the funds on the app. I've got to go on the computer and open it on the browser and that. Anyway, I don't like the app. It's annoying. So I've kind of already semi-made up my mind, but I'll leave it up to Chev to decide. That can be a prize for choosing what members giveaway we do. So we need like, how many? We need 635 subscriptions until the prize then, if we do $100 and $50. Or should I make it more than that? Do you reckon $100 first place is enough to entice people to subscribe? You literally just have to subscribe. You don't even have to like or share or anything. A Watto sticker. I can't remember who made them. I've only got that one that's on my aircon unit. I want a Rumble's Fishroom sticker. I don't even have any at the moment. The ones that were at the Splash Expo, Underwater Pet Expo, I never actually got one of them. They were shipped straight to Aquamate, I believe, or was it Blake's Aquatics? One of those two. I can't remember who. I feel bad because whoever it went to put a lot of effort in, and it was one of those two. Show them both love. If you're not subscribed to Blake's Aquatics or Aquamate, go subscribe. Hi, why are you not breeding South and Central American cichlids? I've got Viha. What? I give up. Viha. That's what I'm saying. I've got red terrors. Are they Central Americans or South American? I think they're Centrals. The reason why, I don't know. I've never really had the desire to. I've kind of been branching out into Americans lately because just to have more of a variety on YouTube. I've got flower horns, if you can class them as American. Probably not. Let's find Blake's Aquatics to get a link for you. What else have we got? I've got a black nasty cichlid. I haven't actually shown him on the channel. So I ended up with a black nasty cichlid in a trade, and then I was going to try and sell it, but I don't know how much I could get for it really. I might just keep it. I think a black nasty would be cool fish to do a feature on the channel. So you're going to laugh when I tell you this, but because I breed flower horns, and the one of the main goals with flower horns is that short face without the beaky appearance. And a black nasty cichlid is a very beaky American, and it's like tainted my brain into thinking that the long face is like no good. So like I look at a black nasty and I think that that's a low quality / ugly fish because of how beaky the front is, even though it's how that type of fish is, if that makes sense. I don't even know. How do you pronounce that, Leokos? Yeah, so sure, Black Nasties was selling in the shop here for, I think, 240, but that's shop price. I was going to advertise it for like 150. I think that's John. Flower horns are an Asian cichlid. I guess technically I are. Have you ever, I don't know if I've said it in my videos, but like I make a joke about how like I've got the flower horn biotope tanks because they're actually in tanks which they're like, looks like where the fish came from. So you know how people do like the biotope river tanks? Well, mine's a biotope flower horn tank. Yeah. Where's Coburg Aquariums? I'm guessing over east. The thing with fish prices, because shipping is so high at the moment, like local shops are definitely going to dictate the price more than like an East Coast shop, because if you wanted to buy a black nasty for 160, then plus like $190 shipping, you know, unless you bought 30 of them, it's not worth it. So like more than ever, like at the moment, state to state prices are varying quite a lot. G'day, Matty D. I don't know if I saw your comment earlier or whether you just got into the chat. Oh, how's the smoker going? It's been like 15 minutes. I should have Telstra chat. Oh, still no message. So this whole time we've been talking is taken. They haven't even given me their name. So I was talking to the computer the computer told me its name was Cody, and now I'm talking to a real person, and the real person didn't even introduce themselves. That's a bit rude. Oh, it's got a time. It actually says 16 minutes ago. They told me 15 minutes. Mind you, I will say I do like the live chat way better than sitting on the phone like waiting for 3 hours. Oh, check out the discus. Wrong side, that one. That discus like changes color like you wouldn't believe. It'll go like almost black, completely brown, and then it'll go almost completely red the next day. It's pretty cool. James sent me a photo on my phone. Can I show the photo? Can I show it on the camera? Do you care? Man, he's a nice one. I love the full head coverage, the full head pearling. That's like the number one trait for me. I'm going to look at it closer myself. I'm not a huge fan of armor pearls. Like that fish looks like it's got a really strong script and really strong red, but the armor pearls is like washing out the red. But that's something that if you didn't like personally, you could definitely get, if you breed him, you could pick out ones with less pearling depending on your personal preference. As far as a breeder male, he is really nice. He's awesome fish. He's got a small bit of a beak on him, but like you can see he's got that water cock coming through and he's still quite small. So his head will definitely fill out and he won't look beaky when he gets bigger. He's got some nice solid fins on him. Yeah, I think he's a nice fish. Really nice fish. I'll show it up here again in case you're wondering what I'm... Why'd it go small? One thing that I don't really do because I forget and I'm lazy is I don't really do much mirror training. I should do it more. I've actually got a mirror that is on suction cups and it goes on the outside of the tank. And I leave the suction cups on the tank, so I've literally just got to clip it on every day, but I forget. Aquarium Addictions. I work full time. I actually am a cabinet maker and I work 45 to 50 hours a week besides doing fish. It's a crazy lifestyle. It definitely is. I probably put, I would say 10 hours a week into YouTube, and then if I didn't have YouTube, I'd probably cut that down to like 5 hours, maybe. Yeah, do you know how hard it is to fit in motorbike riding when you run a fish room? What was my point? Yeah, so that's why my fish room is completely automated, automatic water changes and all that, and that's because I don't have the time to look after it. How's the lawn going? The lawn's dead. The lawn's really dead. I messaged a guy today about getting it caught. I don't know. I'm on the fence. It's dead because I haven't even put wetting agent on it this year. But I gave up about 12 months ago spending money on it. Using the mirror helps like grow the cock size, because the male's like trying to fight itself, so it's like trying to be the dominant one, and it shows a bigger head because it's trying to be the boss. I think my boss has just got home actually. Wow, 6:42 p.m. Really? How's my dinner going? Oh, 1:44. It's nearly cooked. It's nearly cooked. I haven't set my there we go. So now my phone vibrates when the meat's ready too. You sent me another one. See, if I was smart, I would set it up so I can watch the video on the computer and then share it on the screen, but I'm not smart, so we can show it on the phone. Yeah, that guy's definitely nicer than the other one. But see, at the same time, that one doesn't have full head coverage. Maybe it's just yet. It might get the full head coverage. But if I was choosing which one to breed, I would choose the full head coverage over the less purling and that of the other one, because full head coverage is one of the hardest traits to breed into flower horns. So that would definitely be my choice as far as which flower horn to breed first up. And also the one with full head coverage looks more mature, so you're probably more likely to get a batch out of that one first than the other one. I'm guessing you've got girls. I'm not sure. Amazing to me, your tank water is not enough for the front lawn. So in Western Australia, we've got super sandy soil. So it's got no water retention at all. So what happens is I put wetting agent on it, and then that works for like a couple of weeks. But because it's so sandy, the wetting agent like washes down past the lawn. So I've pretty much got to put wetting agent on it fortnightly just to get it to stay alive. I've been trying to keep the daily vlogs a bit more fish related than in the past, so that's why I haven't really seen the lawn on the videos. Where's the 5th gear skid gone? It's still there, but I put it on private. I kind of wanted to get it off the channel because it doesn't look like, I wanted to make the channel look a little bit more professional than it was. Apparently discus do way better in bare bottom tanks, but I'm all about the planted life in this tank. So that's the pair. You can see the two there. It looks so dark on camera. I look dark. Everything looks dark. It's not dark, I promise. I need to change settings on the camera, but I also took the video of my burnout in my VL. The guy recording says, why does he keep it in 2nd gear? And I actually took off in 3rd gear and changed to 4th. And he thought I went from 1st to 2nd. And the title of it was like 4th gear burnout or something. And in the comment, I used to just get so many negative comments saying, no, it's only in 2nd gear. That's one of the reasons I took it down. Not many people will actually know what I'm talking about. Your street's always asking your lawn secret. The other thing I was doing, Chef, was like last year I was using quite a lot of products, and I think the fish water mixed with the fertilizer was actually too much nutrients, and I was burning the roots of the plants. So last year I cut out all of my fertilizers and only used wetting agents, and it was good up until October, like now, and then it died off from the heat. So I actually want to get it cored, and I've got clay, starts with a K, something clay, but I need to get it cored and then put the clay down so it goes down in the core holes. Must have had some herbs to start in third gear. Yeah, it was a quick car. It was really quick. I never got it dynoed, but my mate had built LS1 VX Commodore naturally aspirated that made 480 horsepower, and we had a drag, and I beat his VX Commodore, so it was more than him. Uh-oh, we got beepers going. All right, so my fire's dying. So I'm gonna no, it's not Benite cat clay. It starts with a K, but I was looking up Benite clay, and I think it's similar or the same thing. But anyway, it's called, the actual product is called Soil Saver. I think it's a Bailey's product. But anyway, I've got to go. I've got to make sure my dinner's cooking. So hit the like button on your way out, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry if you didn't enjoy the nerding out side of things. Maybe next week we'll go the opposite end of town. We'll do something more lighthearted. And maybe we'll do look at some fish. We'll see if we can get some Wi-Fi in the fish room. But anyway, peace out, guys.